The current special parcel tax, Measure C, will come to an end on June 30th of this year. The hoped for new tax revenues have not materialized. So once again, we are faced with the question of, will we approve a new special tax? The proposed tax will appear on your March 5th ballot as Measure A. It's almost identical to the previous tax with a couple of minor changes. One is that it no longer funds police and fire departments directly. Instead, it funds essential public services, which means on a practical level that it will fund police and fire department. The other change is that the new tax begins at $146 per parcel and will be reduced by the same formula as the previous one, except it will be rounded down to the nearest cent rather than rounded up. If you own a large number of parcels, that'll make some difference to you, but for the average taxpayer, it makes no difference at all. The following video was produced for the Measure C tax, but the main points are the same. We will be producing an additional video that covers the things that have changed since 2018 that need to be considered when deciding whether to vote for or against the new Measure A tax. Enjoy the video. On July 31st, the voters of California City will turn out to the polls to vote for or against a special parcel tax. California City is a very unique place, as you probably already know. You may know that it's the third largest city in California by area, but it's the 429th by population. What that means is we have a whole lot of empty land out there. And this tax is designed to take advantage of that. The tax isn't per person, it's not per apartment, it's per parcel. So, well, the tax is $182.50 per year per parcel. It doesn't matter whether that parcel has a home on it or whether it's empty. Everybody pays the same per parcel per year. The $182.50 may sound like kind of an odd number. It's really based on 50 cents per day, so it kind of makes sense. So this tax goes specifically to pay for police and fire protection. That includes things like animal control officers and the paramedics and other things. I say that this tax uses a matching funds approach. A lot of charities use this. Somebody will walk into a charity and say, hey, I have $100,000 I want to donate to your cause, but I want to do it based on matching funds. So the charity has to go out and find other people that contribute smaller amounts to total up an additional $100,000. So the total between this person's contribution and the others is $200,000. So they've leveraged their contribution and provided more money for the charity. This tax works somewhat in the same way. If the voters that live in the city, they're occupying a house or whatever, they decide to pass the partial tax, they're agreeing to pay the $182.50 a year. But for each one of those pieces of property, there are 11 pieces of property out there. The people are also paying the $182.50, which comes out to $2,007.50. So together, you end up with $2,190 of tax money generated. To look at it graphically, well, here's a map of the city. There are 54,000 parcels in California City. In this area, there's most of the developed properties. That's about 4,500 developed properties. That's the businesses, the homes, the apartments. These are the ones that would benefit most from police and fire protection. The way it looks is if these people agree to pay the parcel tax by voting yes on July 31st, then the people that own these parcels will also pay the tax. If this house pays, then these 11 other parcels also pay, and so on, and so on, and so on across the city. To put it another way, as a voter, you get $2,190 worth of police protection and fire protection by paying your $182.50 a year. That's a really good deal. You've leveraged 11 to 1. I don't know how else or anywhere else that you can get that kind of a deal. So the election is held on July 31st. If you're not registered to vote, there's still time to register. You need to have your registration in by July 16th. That's not just mailed in, but they have to process it. You can pick up a voter registration form at the post office. You can either choose to vote in person or to do a mail-in ballot. So we'll see you at the polls on July 31st, and we'll see how this all turns out.